Hey guys, this is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Health Kick, and I'm excited because we're going to talk about something that's really neat. It's interesting, it's new on the science, if you will. It's certainly been around a long time in philosophy. For those of you guys that are regular watchers of our Health Kick, you'll remember at the end I always talk about the good things to do to keep yourself healthy, right? Which is eat well, exercise, drink a lot of water, get a good night's sleep, positive mental thought, make sure you're talking to yourself really well and healthy, make sure you, your mother, your father, your grandfather, everyone you know, and everyone in your community is under regular chiropractic care. That's what I talk about every week, and each Health Kick kind of addresses each one of those, okay? But the one that I want to talk about today is our thoughts, and sometimes it gets a little bit crazy, and sometimes it sounds a little esoteric or a little voodoo or quacky when you hear sometimes people talk about it. And it's not simply positive thinking, because that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. What we know through science is this. I'm going to share a real neat experience with you, a scientific experiment with you. And there was a man in Japan who actually photographed water. And what he did is he took water and he had people hold the water, glass of water or a slide of water, and he had them have a thought, and they would meditate on the water. And by that I mean he would have intelligent people that would do it. He would have people that were Buddhist monks, ministers, people, very loving people, very calm people, very hyper people, very angry people, murderers, and so forth. And he had all these different people hold on to the water, and then what he did is he froze the water, or ice at this point, and he photographed it. And what he found was that the more loving or calming the thought or meditation or the intention of thought was for the individual that held the water, the more beautiful the arrangement of the water molecules. So when he had, like, for example, the Dalai Lama hold the water actually came in the form of like a snowflake. Some beautiful arrangement of the molecules of water. And then when he had people that were more angry, he went to prisons, and he had people that had some mental or psychiatric challenges, let's put it that way. The water was very disarrayed. It took on a structure that was very much like snow on a TV screen. You don't really see that now with our new TVs, but kind of a snow arrangement where there's black and white, total loss of any type of structure, and that says a lot. We can't explain exactly what's happening there, but we know a few things 100% certainty: that the brain actually generates electricity, and that the brain actually generates thought, and it's an electrical chemical reaction. Okay, and you can run a light bulb. Some of us can run a brighter bulb off of that than others, but you can run a light bulb off your brain because it produces that electrical activity. So it's pretty amazing. So we know that for sure. We also know that the type of thought affects matter. The type of thought, and maybe it's an electrical type of change with the molecules of water. It may be just electrical. It may be electrical magnetic, right? Like an EM type change. Electrochemical magnetic. We don't know. Radio frequency. No one really knows exactly how that happens, but we know that by thought, there's these new games now. You can put something on your head, right? And you can move something on a board. So we know that our thoughts actually transmit and receive some waveform of energy. We know that for a fact. What does that have anything to do with your health? This is what it's got to do with your health. Think about this. Your body is 90% water. So if you're thinking positive thoughts, if you're meditating on positive thoughts, if you're focused on positive thoughts, your thinking, your self-talk is more positive, that means that your arrangement, if you will, structurally, molecularly, not to get too crazy there, but is going to be healthier. It's better. Now, how do we know this? Because we know through science that those people that meditate and have a more positive thought, you ready for this? Have a healthier DNA structure. That the structure, the blueprint of your DNA is healthier. That means they're less likely to express negative aspects of the DNA. What the heck does that mean? Epigenes. We talked about it a while ago. But bottom line is your genetic code. Many people have the genetic code for breast cancer, yet they don't get breast cancer, right? Many people have the genetic code for diabetes, but don't get diabetes. Many people don't have the genetic code for diabetes or breast cancer, and yet still get it. So the bottom line is it's not all the genes. The human genome hasn't changed in 40,000 years, scientific fact. And people weren't getting all those diseases back then that they do now. Even though they had the genes that may have expressed it. Why didn't the gene express itself? One of the factors is the thought. The more stressed out we become, the more negative we become, the more panic we become, the more anxious we become, that thought actually creates damage to our molecular structure, to our DNA, and therefore we become more sick, more diseased, more ill. And as a result, the DNA breaks down faster. That means we age faster. So negative thinking, if you will, makes us become sicker faster. It's called autosuggestion. So very powerful. Now, how do you get through that? Well, somebody explained to me recently, it's not my example, so I'll share it with you, that the thinking, how important thinking is really allows your body to, is like a rudder. It allows your brain and your thoughts to steer themselves in a more positive direction. The question is, what are you putting in that creates the thinking, right? Thinking is like a sail on a sailboat. It's not the direction of the wind that determines your destination. It's not. What it is, it's the direction of the rudder and the sail. The wind can be coming in any direction. You can still find any destination you want. So you have to change the sail and the rudder. That's your thinking. Now, what determines that is what you're putting in. If you're watching the news all the time, news alert, and you're pumping in negative information, if it reads, it bleeds, right? If you're reading the newspaper and the negative aspect of the newspaper all the time, if you glom on the gossip, if you glom on the negative thoughts, if you become anxious all the time, makes it very difficult to what? Think positively, and as a result, your body's in a constant state of stress, and therefore you get a lot of negative thoughts, which means negative energy, which means your body's going to break down molecularly faster and you get sick and diseased faster, okay? How do you turn that around? Tough to do in just a few minute thought flash here, but I'll tell you, the best advice I can give you to start is to pick 3 things that you're very grateful for. 3 things that you're 100%, no matter what would happen in your life, there's 3 things in your life that you say, wow, that is 100% grateful for. My health, my God, I work hard for it, but I'm very healthy, and I'm really grateful for that. My children, my gosh, I'm so thankful for their lives and that they're in my life and that they're healthy. I'm thankful for being a chiropractor, being shown to be a doctor to help people naturally, holistically, in a way that they couldn't get in other aspects of healthcare. That I'm able to deliver that for them. So those are 3 things that I say to myself on a regular basis that makes me very proud and happy, but it makes me very grateful. It's the best place to come from is gratitude. Gratitude is not only a great virtue, it's the mother of all others. That was actually said by Cicero many, many years ago. Obviously a great Italian. So, all right, so that being said, I'm almost out of time. Pick those 3 things and say those all the time. You want to say that to yourself. Write down 3 things you're grateful for and read them over 3, 4, 10 times a day. That's what I do. Put them up in your car. Put them on your computer. Put them on your desk. Put them somewhere, and then you read those over. And let me explain something to you in my last few moments here. If you bought a car, a silver Prius, and you notice there's no silver Priuses, as soon as you buy that car, all of a sudden you notice that everyone's got a silver Prius, or you notice them all around. The same thing will happen. You start becoming grateful and coming from a place of gratitude. It starts to turn your thoughts around, and all of a sudden you start to notice so many other things in your life to be grateful for, so many other things to be happy about, and it changes your thinking. The next step is you got to keep doing it. You can't do it for a month and stop. It has to become one of your rituals, like you brush your teeth, or you put your clothes on, or you shave, or you do something. It has to be one of those rituals. Once it becomes part of you, you'll never forget. Listen, I've had so many emails, so many people ask me questions. If you'd love to be part of our practice, we'd love to have you a member of our practice. I think it's a great movement. I think under my care, under what we teach you, you'll have a much healthier life than you would without it. This has been Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Health Kick. Remember, eat well, exercise, sleep well, drink plenty of water. A lot of positive thoughts up there. Make sure you, your mother, your father, your grandfather, your kids, everybody in your community is under regular chiropractic care. Guys, have a great, healthy week. I'll talk to you next week.